guys, welcome to my channel Evolving Being. It's so nice to speak to you again. In today's video, we'll talk about the commonly asked questions in the Young India Fellowship's interview process. And make sure you watch the video till the end, as I will be discussing step by step the flow of how the interview on the final day actually happens. And thank you so much for reaching out to me for the past two videos on the Young India Fellowship program. A lot of you have written to me talking about how useful the content was, and that's why I've decided to make this video as well. I hope you find it helpful, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's begin. Your interview can start in two possible ways. The first is when you walk in, the panel members will introduce themselves and will ask you to introduce yourself. That is one very typical standard way of starting an interview. The second way of starting an interview is that you would have already written 2 essays almost a week, 10 days before the final day of the interview. They can ask you questions from your writing, in the sense what you wrote, could you tell them more about it, the thought process behind it, etc. So these are the two most common ways of starting a YIF interview. Next is the follow-up question. So what is your next question, you must be wondering. It will always come from the way you answer the first question. Remember this. So when you introduce yourself, this is an opportunity to set a pace for the rest of the interaction. Talk about, highlight your important areas of strength so that the interview members can pick that up and give you a follow-up question on that. The next question will be, in all probability, around the books. So books are a very, very important component of YIF. Why? Because the program is multidisciplinary. You have to read a lot, you have to write a lot, and they want to ensure that everybody they select is very comfortable reading diverse subjects and also writing diversely. So there will be a very high probability that they will engage you in and ask you to talk about some of the books that you mentioned in the application form. The next bit is life events. Life events play a very critical role. So what are the different areas in which life events can come from? You could be in college and may have been a president of some society. You could be a working professional. There may have been significant growth opportunities and promotions that you've gone through, or the impact you've created at work. You may have done something tremendously groundbreaking in school, which still remains relevant for you today. There could have been personal contexts and challenges that you've faced in your life, and those challenges could also be a part of your storyline. So there are various life events that you do mention in your application process. Now, these life events, probably some of the important ones, the panel members are going to pick up on and ask you questions further on it. Next, one very, very obvious question, and I think one of the most critical questions in the interaction: why do you want to do the Young India Fellowship? And you need to be very well prepared with your answers, which are unique to your context. Also, if there's anything unusual in your application which you will not find in applications of other students, there is a high probability that the interview panel will pick up on that and ask you a question on that as well. Now, here is a basic outline that I've shared with you, but what are the kind of questions they will ask you in terms of the books you've read? What questions around the life events are they going to ask you? Are there any peculiar elements in your application when compared to other students? I have read thousands of applications in the past, particularly for YIF, and I've also interviewed hundreds of students. So I have a good sense of the quality and the category, the kind of questions that are asked. In case you need personalized guidance on that, feel free to write to me in the email address given in the description box below. And in case you also want to do demo mock sessions, practice a little more before your final day, feel free to get in touch with me. And I'm so happy so many of you have written to me, as a matter of fact. I'm very delighted to find that this content is valuable to you, and it's really helping you in your preparation and your journey ahead. So all the best, and don't forget to hit the like, share and subscribe button. On that note, see you in the next video.